everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit more of a casual one. I'm going to be talking to you guys all about why I dropped out of, I was gonna say high school. I did not drop out of high school. I dropped out of college, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about why I did it, where I'm at now, just things of that nature. I feel like it's kind of a good time to talk about it just because a lot of people are going into college or going back to college, or maybe you're like a senior in high school and you're starting to think about college. So I just feel like it's more of a good time to talk about it now. Like, this is the most relevant time. People have been requesting this a lot actually in the comments on my videos, talking about, for me to talk about why I'm not in college and what my plan is, all that stuff, because people love to ask, what is your plan now? What are you going to do? So in today's video, I'm just gonna be in today's video. I can't talk today, you guys. Oh my gosh. I wasn't planning on filming because I was like, I have these breakouts happening and I just haven't been feeling the most confident about myself. But I told myself at the mid-August, if you guys can tell, since mid-August, I have been uploading a lot on my channel, and I told myself that since mid-August, I was going to start taking it really seriously and start to really commit to it and put my full efforts into it. So I said, you know what? You're not feeling the most confident today, but you should give your people a video. So that is what I'm trying to do. I'm just gonna be talking about why I dropped out. So I need some of my coffee. I'm actually very tired. Also, if you're wondering why, if you can tell, like, my body is way darker than my face, it's because I just self-tanned and I haven't even washed it off yet. So I'm sorry about that. There is nothing the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks cannot fix. Putting that on the ground, and if I kick it and it falls, I probably won't get the deposit back on this apartment and I will cry. So cross our fingers that I don't kick it. I don't really have like a talking points type thing. I'm just gonna kind of ramble on for probably like about 10 to 15 minutes, so bear with me here, but I didn't want it to be too structured. I just wanted it to kind of come from the heart and explain to you guys why I dropped out. I feel like a lot of people think of college dropouts as someone who maybe, I don't want to make a stereotype, but I feel like this is the stereotype of a college dropout. Someone who maybe does drugs or has no purpose or has no hustle or has nothing that is pushing them forward. They just are someone who just gives up. And I think that's what most people think of when they think of a college dropout, but I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. I am a proven point, hopefully, that that is not the case. I was not on drugs when I decided to stop going to school. And there's a lot of reasons behind it, but one of the things that people don't realize right away and that I have to explain to them is that the reason why I dropped out of high school, I keep saying high school, oh my gosh, I graduated high school in 2015, I swear I had the papers for it, it happens. The reason why I dropped out of college was not because of college, it was because of my circumstances and where I was and everything about me as a person. I was actually doing really well in college. I had a 4.3 GPA. I was #1 in my major for my grades, so like I was doing really well. I was pretty much getting perfect scores on every single one of my exams, so I'm not trying to brag, but like I was doing very, very well in college. It was to the point where when I told my professors that I was dropping out, they did not understand why, because it wasn't like I was doing so poorly that I needed to take a break. I was doing very well. I haven't really gone into full depth on what happened exactly, but basically, if you guys have never seen me before, I don't know if people will see this that aren't subscribed to me. I am from the Massachusetts area, and after high school, I moved out to Los Angeles, and I went to a school called FIDM. It's the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, and I was majoring in graphic design. FIDM is a different school to begin with. That's something I want people to know. A lot of people, not as much recently, but when I first started going to FIDM, it was still like very popular for YouTubers to be going there, so a lot of subscribers had questions about it and were very curious about it. And FIDM is a really good school if you know exactly what you want to do in life and you have a clear vision and like this is exactly what you want to do. You're going to go to school for this one thing, you're going to get out, you're going to get a job in that field, and you're going to live your life. It's a very accelerated program. You go pretty much right into your major classes. Like, you don't really have too many general ed classes. It's just like you take a couple and then most of it is your major, which is really nice if you know exactly what you want to do. The downside, however, to FIDM is that it's not like a typical school. You don't have many males there, which is different. I didn't really mind it that much because I had a friend group outside of FIDM, but that's something to also keep in mind. Also, the way it's set up is very different. You go on a quarter system, you don't go on the regular college system that most people do. The biggest issue for me with FITM is that when I originally applied there, I applied for fashion merchandising. Like honestly, first off, what was I thinking? I don't know why I applied for that. Thank God they deterred me from that. But basically, they were like, okay, we don't think that you would be good for fashion merchandising, but you should really check out graphic design based off of what you presented to us. Because you have to do like a portfolio type thing when you apply there. And I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure. When I was, this is so rambly, when I was a junior in high school, that's when my YouTube channel kind of started to pick up. You know, I'm pretty sure in junior years when I hit 100K or like around there. So like I had an established YouTube channel, especially at the time, 100K was a little bit bigger of a channel, especially more so than it is now. I'm just saying, because like now, like everyone does YouTube, but you know, how many years ago was that? Like 5 years ago? Maybe like 4 years ago. YouTube wasn't as big, so I felt like my channel was growing at such a fast rate, and I was like, I just want to get out to LA. You know, I just want to do my thing out there. I just want to go out to LA. I don't care what I'm studying in college. I'm going to be a YouTuber and I'm going to kill it and blah, 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 blah. So in my mind, it wasn't really about what I was studying at FITM. It was about me just getting to FITM. So whatever they said, they were like, okay, we think you should do graphic design. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I remember the fall of senior year, my English class was focused a lot on college applications because that's when you start to apply to colleges. It was all about like basically, okay, you're gonna pick out 3 schools and send in to your teacher your applications to those 3 schools. Keep in mind, most people their senior year of high school apply to way more than 3 schools. And I remember I just felt like I was so naive about the whole thing. Like I wish that I had someone that basically gave me a reality check and was like, you don't need to do everything that every other YouTuber is doing, because in my mind, I just had to get out to LA. So I remember telling my teacher, I'm like, but I'm only applying to 1 school. Like I'm only applying to FITM. And she was like, are you sure about that? Like, why are you only applying to 1 school? And I was like, because I know I'm gonna go there. Nah. I just thought that nobody understood me and that nobody understood that I wanted what I wanted and that it was the right thing for me. Looking back, I was an idiot. So yeah, there was a couple people in my life that were kind of like, why are you doing that? And I was just like, I'm doing me, like mind your business. So yeah, the only school that I applied to going to college was FITM in LA, and I got in. I got the acceptance within like, I'm pretty sure, no, what happened was you call them, you have like an on phone call, and after the call they were like, okay, you're accepted. And I was like, what? I found out in like October. All my other friends were like still applying, and I'm like, I already got accepted in my school. Like, I don't care. I don't want to give any shade here, but it was almost as if the application process was a little bit too easy for me. So I made the decision to go out to LA, and after I graduated high school, I got an apartment out there with one of my best friends, Kenzie. And the thing for me, as soon as I moved out to LA, I noticed myself getting more and more down. I spent most of my days in bed. That's something that you guys didn't see from me, but I started to upload less and less and less. And I started to spend more and more time in bed. LA, one of the most amazing things about LA is that they have these food delivery services, and I would just order Chipotle literally to my apartment probably every single day, and I would just stay in bed. And I remember I would watch Grey's Anatomy or The Office or just some show on Netflix, and I would literally just keep my blinds shut and stay in bed all day and just eat. And that was so bad for me, you guys. I wish that I could have realized then, because even my parents have said like, we wish you would have just told us as soon as you got out there that you weren't happy. And I even knew before my parents left, after they had dropped me off in LA and got me all settled, I knew before they even left that I was like, this was not for me. But it was kind of, it felt like I'm in too deep at this point that I couldn't go back from it. That wasn't the case, but it just felt that way. So I was too afraid to say anything, so I just kind of put myself through it, and I became more and more sad living in LA, and I just couldn't get myself up out of bed. I didn't want to. I didn't want to film. I had no motivation anymore, and it was weird because I moved out there for my YouTube channel, but for some reason I had I had nothing left in me that made me want to film anymore. And it was the worst feeling in the world to just feel like the whole world is moving around you, but you're not doing anything. It just felt like I was still, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it because like I'm in such a different place right now, but it was almost as if like the whole world is moving and moving and moving and you're just like kind of floating through. That's exactly how I felt, and I just kept gaining weight, and the more weight I gained, the more self-conscious I became, and the more I like hated myself. And I remember some days I would have good days where I would be like, okay, I would get my planner and I'd be like, I'm gonna film this, I'm gonna do this collab, I'm gonna do this brand deal, and I'm gonna text my manager, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna do this. And then the next day would come and I would be back to being so sad that I couldn't do anything again. And not a lot of people understood that, especially who I was with. They were like, just basically like, just get up. Like, why can't you do it? And I wasn't comfortable talking to people about it, so I just kind of stayed in my own little bubble and just did my own thing. One thing I also do want to say is that I never, even though I was sad, once school started up, I never started school with the intention of dropping out. I just automatically assumed I'm going to graduate from FITM in 2 years and I'll move back to Boston. That was just my own personal thing, that little thought that I kept in the back of my head just to get me through it. But I never said to myself like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Like, that wasn't even a thought for me. I grew up in a home where I'm very grateful for parents like this, but they were basically very strict about school. I mean, strict to the point where I had perfect attendance, you guys, from kindergarten up until sophomore year of high school, and then I missed a day sophomore year, and from that day that I missed up until my senior year of high school, I didn't miss another day. And then during senior year, I skipped some days because I was a senior, and I was like, you guys can't tell me what to do. But yeah, they never let me miss school. They always made it a point to be like, you are going to college and you are going to graduate college. Neither of my parents have a college degree, so one thing that's really important to them is that I get one, and that's why I will get one. I'll get into that later, but that's not the only reason why. But yeah, just know that I didn't come from, I feel like people, if they see someone who looks like me or who is like me, like I have like designer purses and stuff, they see me not being in school, and I feel like they think like, oh, mom and dad just let her do that, or mom and dad are just like cool parents who let their daughter do the gap year thing. Like, no, my parents, I cannot believe that my parents have been as supportive as they have been, just because I've known them my whole life and they would never normally do anything like this, so that's weird. But yeah, I went through school for an entire year and things just continued to get worse and worse and worse for me and my mental health in LA. Again, like I said, what I was doing in college really wasn't like, nothing was bad about my college life. I was doing really well in school and I really liked it, and I liked the feeling of doing well. It was just outside of college that I was really struggling. And at the end of the first year, it got to the point where I was just crying every day. And I said to myself, I don't think I can do it anymore. And all I did was I just texted my mom, because my mom, she missed me a lot. So I texted her, we're like best friends. I texted her and I was like, I need to move back home. I need to. And all she said was just, okay, tell dad. I was like, can you do that one? Because my dad is the more strict one of the two. The bad cop, if you will. And then I told my dad, and he was like, the first thing he said was, is this your mom's idea? Because he knew that my mom wanted me back home. But I was like, nope, it's my decision. And it was hard, you guys, even after I said that, because I had an apartment lease. I had, you know, I was at school, like we were paying for school. You know, like I just felt like, it felt like, okay, I got that out there that I finally want to come home, but now, like, what do I do? So yeah, I ended up going through the whole process of dropping out of college, and I found some people to take over my lease, and I was good to move back home. The reason why I haven't gone back to school yet, when I first dropped out, you guys, it was like, okay, I'm gonna start up the next semester. So I'm gonna start up in like 2 months right away, get back into school. And I didn't do that because I just felt like I wasn't ready. And then, you know, like the next semester came and I wasn't ready. And then the following semester came and I wasn't ready. And then the next one came and I wasn't ready. And now I'm finally at a place where I feel like I'm almost ready to go back, and I actually truly feel that way. I don't feel pressured at all. And I'm just here to tell you guys, I guess the whole point of this video, this was just like a really big ramble, but the whole point of this video is that it's okay to fail. And even when, I'm gonna get emotional, but even when you feel like you can't go back, even when you feel like you're so deep in this hole that like no matter what you do, like you're not gonna get back up again, just know that you will, and it's okay. The first step to doing this is just to accept the fact that what you're doing right now is not for you. Whether that's because the college that you're at isn't what you like, or because you don't like being so far away from home, or because you don't like your friends, you have no friends, you need to move back home. Whatever it is, it's okay, and it's going to be okay. And that's something that I want, that's just the one thing that I want to get out in this video, is that like, I didn't think it was gonna be okay. Even moving home after everything was done, I still felt like this pit in my stomach of like, oh my gosh, like, am I making the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Like, are my parents gonna hate me? Is this gonna be the worst decision I ever made? But it was the best decision I ever made, because I am now happier than ever. I am now like working my hardest, and I'm now ready to go back to school. That's something that's also so important, is that not everyone is ready to go to school right when you graduate high school, and that is perfectly fine. I think that I'm really grateful now, because I only went to 1 year of graphic design school, and I know that I do not want to do anything with graphic design. I feel like it's just, I don't know if I should get into why I don't want to do it. It's just something that is a job where it's kind of like you're always like waiting for the next paycheck, or like not waiting for the next paycheck, and I don't mean like you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're kind of just like, you always have to be hustling to get someone to hire you. I want to have a job preferably in the next 5 years where it's like, this is your salary, this is how much you make, and you know, this is this and this, and this is your retirement plan, and this is your 401k. I want to have something that's very structured and just on paper is easy. So I'm glad that I only went to 1 year of graphic design school, because if I had gone to 2 years and then gone on to get my bachelor's, I would have been so deep in a hole of money with a degree that has nothing to do with what I want to do. But that's not proof that it's important to just take your time and make sure that you're doing the right things for you and figure out what your interests are. I don't know what is. I feel like this video was so rambly, and I honestly don't even know if this is going to help anyone. And basically, long story short, the reason is that I moved out to a place where I wasn't happy, and it brought me no joy in life, and it made me super sad and depressed. And I don't want to get into that too much, but it ruins me in a way. And I had to accept that fact, that I was no longer thriving in that environment, and I needed to remove myself from it. So that is why I dropped out of school. And people drop out of school for all different types of reasons, and there's no reason to look down on them or think of them in a different way. I feel like it's starting to become a little bit more common, but still people like tend to look down on people who drop out of college, and there's no reason for it. It's literally, it just doesn't matter. It's all about figuring out what is important to you and prioritizing yourself completely, and making sure that your mental health is okay, and making sure that you're doing what you want to be doing. And if you're not doing what you want to be doing, remove yourself from that situation. But that is everything for this rambly video. I'm sorry that you guys had to watch me for so long with no makeup on and looking kind of ratchet, but oh yeah, oh my gosh, I don't even have a nail on this thumb, guys. This has not happened to me in like 2 years. I'm really sorry. I'm a wreck in this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you again tomorrow with a new video. Hopefully tomorrow's will be a little bit less all over the place than this one was, but who knows, it's me, so it probably will be all over the place. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you in my next one very soon.